Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review. We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, I've been as busy as I am right now or busier.
Really?
Um, and, I don't know. This one's this. I've been just I feel like way more busy, but I've definitely been busier before in life.
I think it's just I, I low key when you look at what's going on too with the world and the fact
Oh, I mean, sure, you could go with the world, but
no
in
like
the reality, how much does that really play affect?
we're in a recession, so it affects you financially. You realize that you're pinching the penny. 2 years ago, our dollar was 17 cents more. It's gone down 17 cents essentially of value in the last 2 years. We just came out of a pandemic. People, we're trying to get the foot. I think a lot of people are actually in this boat, and with the world kind of being where it's at, going to war. I mean, yeah, we're not thinking about that, but you see mentally, there's something going on worldwide. It's the mental health crisis, I think.
I mean, worldwide, it's pretty freaking crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't buy into that a whole lot just because I haven't truly felt that kind of I don't feel like that's actually affected me.
The wars and shit.
Wars,
Yeah, but
the recession we're in, I wasn't pinching a penny before, and I'm not pinching a penny now.
no, but I get what you're saying there, but I mean, just when you look at the world and just look at where we are financially as a whole, people, and then the larger mass, right? You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I mean it is 100% crazy out there. I'm not trying to downplay it.
Right. And I just think the world's in a weird transition and we're all feeling it. We're all getting affected. So it's just that it is that weird, we feel like we have a lot going on. We feel like this and that's happening, but in reality, it's just we'll get through it. You just
Yeah.
gotta power through. But it's wild because it's different for everybody too. Kind of like you're saying, where it's
Yeah.
everyone's feeling it in different ways.
No, that's true. That is very true. Everyone is. And I should empathize with those more. Because shit is crazy out there.
No, it is, man. It is. I talking to Colton because just shit going on. He was planning on going over to Egypt and Cairo and stuff. And
Is he not doing that anymore?
well, I don't know. They were talking about getting their tickets changed and stuff. So I'm curious. I got to call him just because he's supposed to be coming up here next week to go hunting. So
Oh, nice. Hey, your old town, I guess now, there's a shooting at the university, or not the university, but the Rocky Mountain College
oh yeah,
recently.
yeah, the guy died.
Yeah.
It was like a 16-year-old shooting the Rocky football player, but that's sad. It really is. Gun violence in Billings has gone up like crazy. It's the 30th most dangerous city in America,
Yeah,
per
what was it?
capita.
So one of the guys on the men's soccer team, he actually played at MSU Billings for a year.
Okay.
And we were talking about the Rocky incident because they're in our conference for some
Right.
sports, and they canceled athletics for a week because of it. And he goes, it's just going to sound really bad, but I'm actually not too surprised that
No,
that happened.
no, I'm not
And
either.
that's what I told him too. He was like, "Yeah, there's an Albertsons by campus. It's called Stabbertsons because you
Right.
just go there and get stabbed."
that Albertsons by Rocky's not bad. That's just because that's the like Christian college, it's a Christian
No, I
college.
think it's by MSUB. The
Oh yeah. Oh,
Albertsons.
the one downtown. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you're by North Park and all that shit. That's always been ghetto. But like Thea, it was funny because when she went to MSUB, like she would go shopping at that Albertsons because it was the closest one to her house. And like all her friends and shit were always like, "What the fuck? You go there?" And she goes, "But she's like, I'm from Wolf Point. Like, it's normal. Like, just let them be, man. Just let the people, let the weirdos do their thing. Don't get involved. Don't look at them funny. Just kind of, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, no, 100%. You let them be them. I've learned that being in Humboldt, you let the crazies be crazy.
Well, and I don't. The thing with the Rocky player too, that to keep it short, I don't. I also, it's not surprising because those Rocky, I could see those little punk ass Billings High School kids because that's what it's that 16-year-old, right? And then you have like he's going to a high school party, so you kind of know like, okay, you're in that crowd. You're a young kid going to a college party, and then those Rocky football players like I just go to call like go it was, having the experience of going to Oregon State and then going there and seeing like the party aspect of college football players. Like Oregon State, yeah, you're D1, you're Power 5. But NAIA, it's basically a club sport at that level because they're looking to fill rosters. And they act like they're the hottest shit. So it's like, yeah, you piss off that punky little teenage boy because you think you're the baddest football player playing at Rocky Mountain College. And yeah, no, I'm just like not surprised. And it sucks because it's like when we moved to Billings back in 2005, it was like one of the like when I was going to high school, it was one of like the most best places to live. Like
Yeah,
it's wild.
it's wild how things change. It's
Well, it's the Wild West out here. It's all those people moving here from fucking Texas.
yeah, shit just changes all the time. But no, anyways, let's jump into it, shall we?
Yeah. Clink.
Link. Yeah. Welcome. How we doing, everybody? This is another wonderful, wonderful Wandering Ways podcast. It's been a hot minute since the Ranger Zach and myself have chit-chatted. So we got a doozy one of today. We continuing on in our ABCs of the national parks. With one that I'm ultimately excited about because I have known nothing about this park. And so I love to read and look at it. Low-key really want to go. But it's Gates of the Arctic. Super, super excited on all this one.
Right here. Subpar parks. Mountains not nearly tall enough.
What does that even mean?
Right? What are they expecting? Like McKinley, that's my bad. Denali, the appropriate name. Denali is in
And
like the
that's
middle
you.
of the state. I know.
That's this guy saying it. That's
I
not
know.
even me, Well, everyone listening right now would expect me to make that mistake.
Well, the reason I made that mistake is it's wild. Is like because I was just in Fairbanks, literally like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday and the day before, and all the banks, like all the credit unions and shit, are McKinley, and it's the mountains. So I was seeing that everywhere, and I was just like, no, it's Denali, and like had a great conversation with some native ladies up there, and it was great. It was a good time.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is one I think people forget a lot about.
Well, yeah, it's at
And
the tippy top.
yeah, I was gonna say I get why. I get why people definitely forget about this park. Because there's not really, it's way up there. It's hard to get to. Um, it's the least visited park in the United States.
Not
So
shocked.
yeah, only 10 to 11,000 visitors a year, which is, I mean, that's less than football stadiums.
Yeah, honestly, and you not only that, you take that number and you take it like it's in the summer most likely because people aren't really going there in the winter. maybe 5%,
Yeah.
10%, so say 9,000 people, you're going July, August, June, July, August, September, about 3,000 a month. That ain't bad. I would go.
Yeah, I would totally go to this. It says it snows like 8 to 9 months of the year, so I'm
Yeah.
willing to bet it is a smallish window to hit.
Well, have you watched that Life Below Zero, that Alaska show that where the lady Sue, she lives like right up there on it.
No, I haven't watched it.
Like it's like they fly shit in. That's how it's like way up there.
Oh, yeah.
But what I've been told is you can drive up there, and when you drive up there, you take like apparently this like beautiful pass, like this like the way the kid was describing it to me that I was talking to was like it sounded like the Beartooth Pass. Like you're climbing this just magical pass, and then you get on top, and then it just opens up into this big ass valley, and it's just like, oh my god, like there is a god. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that feeling, and you're just like, dang, like, and like part of that is I want to see the caribou up there.
Oh, I know. That's what because I really want to see that like migrating herd of caribou. Um, I think it would be really, really cool. It'd be really, really cool to also see it from above.
Oh, like in an airplane or something.
Yeah, because then you can get and you can see it like the herd move and you can see like the sheer number of them. I guess you
Right.
don't have to necessarily be in a plane, but if you got at a high enough point where you could see them,
Right.
kind of almost in a way when you go to like Yellowstone, you get to Lamar and you see the buffalo kind of in the
Yeah.
valley there. Like if you can get that same feel, but with the caribou up there, I think that's another one of those like holy shit moments.
No, I think when you say that too, it's one of those where like you say that with about the bison in Lamar. You're talking like 2,000 of them. When historically there was hundreds of millions out on the plains, right, that you would encounter. So I
That
feel like
that I tell people that all the time. When you see it in Lamar, like you're amazed at the number, but then you start thinking about like what it was like, and you'd be like, holy shit, when you
well,
really kind of think about it.
and then you take it to this caribou.
Yeah.
One, I think their numbers aren't as big, but I don't think they've been as you know as hurt as you would still. It's one of the best, I would say, one of those best experiences you probably get, like
I
to
I
really get the
agree.
feel. And that's partly why I want to go up there. um I just, yeah, it's they say there's 8.4 million acres of pristine wilderness in which you could wander up there.
Well, that's one of the facts is like the park itself is a wilderness park, so there's no roads.
Right.
It's just you have to like, maneuver, hike it. Like there's no roads. So it's like, all right, like you're gonna have to get on foot, get on a canoe, figure out now a little ski-doo plane or something. You're not gonna be able to take your 4x4.
Exactly. And I do think that's what's really cool, that we have these places and that people are doing that in these places. Definitely want to go. Definitely want to go up there. Um, I I'm curious because they have bears. Now, this is
Oh
another
yeah.
park with bears.
Yeah.
With it being a wilderness park, how would you approach it?
What do you mean?
Knowing that they got like the bears, the moose, like the dangerous aspect of it, because that was another conversation I had with those guys, was like when you're up there in Alaska, when you're in that kind of wilderness in Alaska there, and one of the guys that he's a videographer, film guy up there, he filmed for Life Below and like some of those like series, and he was talking like when you're in those locations that like you break your leg or you fall down, you get hurt, like you're done. Like
Yeah.
you're that remote out there.
Hmm. No, 100%. I mean, that's the risk of going to a place like that. is you are so remote. Um, I mean, I don't know if I would really approach it too much different because, I've been to remote-esque kind of places. Being in like Naknek, Alaska, like
Right.
if you got or being on the boat, like if you got hurt on the boat, it was a long time before you get any help of any kind.
Yeah, that's true.
You're, was it being at the skipper's cabin, from the skipper's cabin to the sauna house? You're walking down the trail going like skippity doo dah, skippity day, like out loud. And all of a sudden, I remember one time I hear a big thrashing in the lake where the sauna house is. And I was like, oh, fuck, that was something big. And I scared it. And I'm probably going to take an extra long sauna today because I want that thing to move on.
Right. No, I feel you. I feel you. I pulled up the map here of the park just because I wanted to get like that vibe and that feel for it. And one thing I don't like, I don't know what it is. It's yellow on the map. It might be private owned lands or something like that, but it says National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska.
Oh,
It like borders
nice.
it.
That's,
It like
yeah,
borders it.
love to see that.
Yeah, but you have the heart of the Brooks Range. Um, you have Kotak National Preserve nearby. You have a lot of wilderness areas. There's a lot of wildlife refuges too. And like when like this is huge. It's a
Yeah.
huge park. There is a road that goes along the side of it, the east side. So that's how you probably get there. That's probably that pass that I was hearing about. How you
Yeah,
get up in
well,
there.
there's technically a village within the boundaries of the park.
Well,
So
because they
it's
hunt the caribou.
it's the village of the I'm going to butcher this and I apologize. The Anakatuvuk Pass. Anaktuvuk.
And the
Um,
Tuviak. And the Tuvik.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anatuvuk. Uh,
Yeah.
it's within the boundaries of the park. So, and there's a road in and out of that. So, like, yeah, there's no roads in the
In the heart
park.
of it, you if
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
experience the park like you're saying, you got to get into it.
yeah,
I pulled it up because then you're also right up north of there is Prudhoe Bay. Just
yeah.
another one of those. Um, and then you have Matt Iggy Pack, IGIK Pack, Mount Iggy Pack, which looks like it's the tallest part in the park. So there
Oh,
you go.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's only 8,275 feet. So that's probably what they're saying. Where like, yeah, when you talk about Denali, what's Denali at right here? It's 20,000 feet. Oh,
1,020.
20,000 is
Oh, yeah.
Denali. So
Okay,
you're
okay, okay.
12,000 feet higher,
Damn.
which is the Beartooths are 12,000 feet tall. So that's the difference.
Yeah, right.
There was, I mean,
That's
that flight from Fairbanks down to Seattle, you fly right along all those mountains there on that coastal range in like British Columbia, Alaska, Juneau. That was a
mhm.
pretty, like, I mean, there's a lot of clouds, but you could see them. And then like I think I saw Denali and I was like, damn.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. I mean, Denali would be one that'd be really cool to see. Gates of the Arctic would be really cool. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're above the Arctic Circle, which is on my bucket list places to go, is
Right.
in the Arctic Circle. Um, I don't know, this is kind of a very unique park because, like I said, there's no roads, but there's also no like established hiking trails within the park. So
Right.
like
I'm sure there is though. Like I'm sure
there's like game trails, but there's no like hiking where it was like man-made. Like the trails that are there were
right.
created by game.
And that's just the ones that people follow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like
Right.
here's the little tidbit on it. If you are someone who loves to hike in America's national parks, then be forewarned that Gates of the Arctic has no official hiking trails. That having been said, there are countless game trails established by animals. So if you're planning to hike, then I recommend using game trails as much as possible, not only for minimizing your impacts on the vegetation, but also for ease of travel.
Okay. Nice. I mean, it makes sense. Like we do that kind of anyway sometimes too. You know, you walk like a cow trail if you're hunting, or you walk like the game, just that's how people done it. It's the path of least resistance, really. same
Yeah.
same with water,
I
right?
mean, yeah, to be fair, if uh if there was something that hunted humans, the hiking trails would be considered game trails, the ones that are made by people. So
Well, and it's just like Yellowstone in the winter, they say, right? Like the animals walk on the roads because it's flat and
yeah,
easy, they're just on top of the snow. Like it's
yeah.
part of
So
it.
yeah. So there's, and that's why I think like they very much mentioned the official hiking trails, because there's probably trails, but there's none that have been like made by the National Park Service or by anyone for the park.
Well, I'm sure, like you say, there's a village there in the park as well that those people probably have, like, not necessarily hiking trails, but certain trails where it's like, oh, this is where we go to hunt caribou in the spring, or this is where we go to pick berries and this time of year, or go to the fishing grounds, or go to whatever it may be. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you. I tried salmon from the lady, and she says they were fishing it at oh, I think it's the village where you go fishing out of.
Naknek?
What's the river?
That's the Naknek River.
No, it was a different one, because she was Dana.
Is it out of King Salmon? Or there's a place we went one year fishing in Ugashik.
Mm, no, it's one of those big famous kind of rivers, but she was telling me how
Katmai?
maybe
Brooks River?
maybe Katmai. I have to look at the native stuff and get back to you on that. But she was
Uh,
telling me how they really don't like the commercial fishers, because they're going out there and catching the salmon on the ocean before
mhm.
the salmon can like mature and come back up river, because there's something to the fish when they can catch the fish coming up the river that's like it tastes better. It's just like in their way, right? Like this is her telling me. And I had some of salmon. She's like, I bought like this like two, like 10-pound bag for like $120. Like it's like it's expensive because they are getting put limits on them, and they're also, as like tribes and villages, trying to have to make those decisions of like, we're not going to fish this year because we need our populations to be back, because they're being overfished in the sea, that we're not getting enough coming back upstream like we used to. But I had a piece of the smoked salmon, some of the best. I don't like fish, I don't like salmon.
I was just saying,
it,
everybody listen. I think the biggest thing that's most surprising and wild thing that I've heard is you tried something.
it tastes just like jerky. It was that good. It was,
What did they smoke it like kind of the typical
yes,
traditional way where they just put it in the hut?
yes, it was the
Yeah.
traditional. It was the traditional from her village, and like I said, it just like the aftertaste for almost like an hour after was just that smoky taste, and it was just like, oh
Yeah.
my god, like yeah, you don't get that. Like I was just like, she's like, yeah, other fish doesn't taste like this. She goes like, this is it. This is how you do it.
It's red gold, baby.
It
Red gold. That's what
is.
it's
That's
called up there. That shit's good. Those that
everyone
sockeye
does it.
salmon.
Everyone goes up
Oh,
there and fishes.
oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, there's a reason why.
but
And like yeah, it is the best managed like fishery out there. And
oh
I
yeah.
mean best by being like whatever the ceiling of best is, that's what it is. Cause I mean, I remember being up there, we'd be shut down for days because they
Yeah.
have to get their numbers.
Well, not only that, but you have like when you talk about best compared to other places in the world that are overfished.
Yeah.
Like it is good that it is being managed, and there are some of those other places that need to. Getting into my secrets of the national parks, there's a little story on Gates of the Arctic here. Agiak Lake, Agiak Lake, located entirely north of the Arctic Circle, Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve set aside some of Alaska's most pristine wilderness, and it can't help being secret. The mountains of the Brook Range soar to the north, while millions of ponds dot valleys where waterfowl like swan, geese, cranes, loons, gyrafalcons, short-eared owls, and montane shorebirds nest in endless summer sunlight. Upon first arrival, visitors may feel that no humans have ever set foot in Gates of the Arctic. There are no roads, no trails, no campsites, like you're saying. Thousands of archaeological sites, however, testify to the people who have lived and traveled the area for over 13,000 years. For example, take a float plane to Agiak Lake to explore hundreds of rock cairns that line the valley for nearly a mile. These guided caribou into the lake, where the Nunamut, Nunamiut Inuit hunters in kayaks hunted them with lances.
That's a fun little story. I mean, the gist I get from all of these facts and reading about this park is it's kind of like a backcountry dream. If you're into
Right.
backcountry camping and you're into like, the whole wilderness thing, then I'd put this up on your list of places to go. If you're confident in your skills, head to toe, this is probably a dream, the backcountry dream because the park is all backcountry.
No, and exactly that. And I think too, this is where I like to think of like, oh, I want a trek vehicle, right? Because then you could drive it up there. You have your Starlink or whatever internet service provided to that. And then you take your week off of work or whatever that may be and go into the backcountry. Because this park, I feel like it would be like one of those where it's like, I'm going to do this stretch today. I'm going to do this stretch tomorrow, and boom, 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 get around here. And then as I say that, I'm like, oh, what about the bears though? And then
that's what I mean is you're confident in your skills because yeah, like bears are scary as shit, right?
Would you bring a gun?
But maybe
for this one, I think I would for like moose and bear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't definitely. If someone brought one, I'm not gonna be like, you're bringing a gun. Like, why? Like, I'm definitely not doing that on this.
Right?
No.
Fair.
Yeah. But I mean, if you make your presence known, like I think you'd be okay. As long as you're making your presence known, you're kind of loud in a way, and you don't startle them. You don't get in between mom and baby. Like, I think you would, if you use common sense and good practices, I think you'd be okay.
Right. And I agree with you in that sense because I feel as if you feel that energy that you put off as well as other beings and other wildlife and animals, like you can communicate with your dog. We all have, animals of that sort that we've communicated with in ways, so you can communicate with other animals. It's just not through talk or speech, they do different things. So exactly like what you're saying is like, don't scare the shit out of them. Just say, hey, like, hey, bear, how are you? Get out of here. I'm busy. I'm doing my thing. What are you doing? Like you saw that one, that bluff, he charged that photographer and that photographer ran right at him because that bear's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, there's just things like that too, where you just gotta, and then I think time of year, like most bear attacks, in my opinion, I feel like happen fall when they're getting ready for winter. I mean, they're always hungry and like with the babies and stuff in the spring, you get that. But I feel as if that, if they get more aggressive and in Alaska, they're going to be more aggressive in that fall when they're really just mowing down food.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you make camp and all that, like put your food in a safe area that's not going to compromise yourself, so you just got to use good practices, good
Right.
skills, and I do think you'd be okay. And then bring the extra protection. I honestly think there's nothing wrong with that for this park.
Right. No, I was just curious what your thought would be because it's like, yeah, like a Yellowstone. Well, maybe it depends, I guess. It really depends on the bears.
Yeah, I mean these are going to be like some straight up wilderness bears, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah, oh yeah, it's
you
different.
know, yeah. So,
I gotta look. Do they
uh,
have polar bears up here? No, because polar bears are more in the Arctic Ocean, huh?
yeah, but I don't know. Maybe let me.
I'll pull up the wildlife. We go through the
Yeah, I mean,
wildlife on
I
this.
saw the fun fact of it here in a second, so I'll be grizzly bear, wolves, muskox, caribou, moose, wolverine, fox, Dall sheep, and then bird life. So yeah, I don't. Maybe there isn't any polar bear um in this park. Uh, if
It-
there's polar bear, I'm definitely bringing a gun.
It's enough inland enough. You know what I mean? Like it's more,
Yeah, yeah.
which makes
Because
sense.
there's that town in Russia that's been literally overtaken by polar bears. Like people
Yeah,
don't live in the town anymore because the polar bears have just totally taken it over.
right. No, and then they call Yugoslavic, uh, Barrow is what it used to be called, but
Yeah,
they named it back to its traditional name. That like they have polar bears up there. You could take the tour with like the guy, and it's like
yeah.
suburban. Get on in, let's go see them. Drive around
I mean,
town.
seeing a polar bear would be super cool, but like that's one where it's like definitely I want to be at a safe distance because I'm not messing around with a polar bear.
Yeah, I like I wouldn't mind being in the car for that one. I did see my first moose in Alaska too. We were just driving on the road and it was like in the ditch eating a thing. Like there it is. It was a cow.
There you go. It's on Alaska moose. Yeah, no, like messing with a grizzly bear. And I'm not really even messing with a black bear, but like when it comes to the polar bear, like I'm like, nah, not even I'm not even flirting with it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's like the Yellowstone 100 yards away. It's like I'm 200 away.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely okay with the binocular spot.
Yeah. There he is. They're
Yeah.
big one because they would be big enough. I feel like you'd see walking on the horizon, like
Yeah,
if you're that far away.
I think it would be so cool though.
Well, I'm gonna push for we got to get up to Barrow or Yugoslavic, for the real ones out there, and I want it because my dad's been up there, and I need to get up there, and you can tag along on that work trip. How about that?
Okay.
I'll
Good
get
to
the
know.
hotel room, and you just get the flight.
Fair.
Hey there, Reverend. I heard that you might be running dry on your sticker supplier.
Yeah, I've been looking around and I've kind of like run out of cool stickers to buy and put on water bottles and stuff.
Well, I mean, have you seen the stuff Josh has been coming out with lately?
No, I have not.
Well, he is doing some really cool stuff with the Shop LS 574. Yes, they're working with indigenous communities and making some really cool stickers. He has a really cool Buffalo Mountain sticker. There's even water bottles, hats, sweatshirts, the whole swag. And we even got a discount code for you guys. Yes, if you use Wandering Ways at Shop LS 574, you're going to be getting a discount on your next purchase. But not only that, you're going to be giving a percentage of that sale to the Little Shell Tribe, as well as they donate $1 of every sale to murdered and missing Indigenous women. So just such a cool thing going on there. You know, you use the code Wandering Ways, WANDERING and you put that in there, boom, you're getting a discount.
Yeah, Arctic, Gates of the Arctic National Park. I think there'd be a lot of cool shit. It's different up there. But speaking of cool shit, it's time for my favorite segment, cool shit in nature. So I have a doozy for you today.
Oh, do you
Uh,
now?
Yeah, this one actually I wish we had last time we did the ABCs, because this is actually of Everglades National Park. So
Oh,
this guy took an underwater camera, and the are absolutely it's absolutely stunning, the imagery and how clear the water. I mean, we talked about you can drink the water, all that, but seeing an underwater world is always really cool.
well, and that's exactly it, because it's just like you're saying here and you're showing is the like it's the growth, the gate, like the
Yeah.
animal, like it's an ecosystem of its own. It's a jungle in a sense, or like a rainforest, but it's it underground, under the water, and it needs
Mhm.
the water like that to exist because the critters living within it and on it. It's kind of cool. It's really cool. Makes you
Yeah,
question if
it's
there's
really.
like people in the ocean. You know what I mean? Because like this is just
I mean, we haven't explored a lot of our oceans. We've explored more of the moon than the ocean. So, um,
right. Isn't that wild?
yeah, it is. So, who knows what's in our water systems out there. But no, anyways, I think it would be injustice or undue of us here at the Wandering Ways podcast, or just in us in general, if we didn't discuss the recent videos of the possible Bigfoot sighting in Colorado.
Hunter,
Uh, you think it's a hunter?
100%. When
I mean,
it looks like he sits down and pulls up but binos, in my opinion, from when I looked at it, like right there, man, it looks like a hunter pulling up his binos right there. But
he definitely sits down. I don't know. My thing is like, why would he just like look and then sit down?
yeah, because there's a train coming by.
Yeah, right. You wish you could see more of the area, to get a better idea
But like
what we're dealing with.
this is clearly like iPhone or something shot this, right? And it's pretty decent quality. I don't think they're zoomed in too much. Like they're
No,
zoomed in a little bit, but you're getting high enough quality. I I wonder. I you'd want to
I don't.
ask. You'd want to ask
Yeah,
because you see it like differently with your eye.
yeah. I definitely think something. Um, it's either a ghillie suit,
Right.
or or it's legitimately him.
I mean, it's or someone who made a really nice costume and is like the Jack Link's costume, something like that that's walking around.
Yeah,
Because when you look at like what I question is like the butt right there, because the shadow on the butt almost looks like a jacket or something, just the way it like hangs more loose. But it could be fur. The fur also looks like it's kind of silky and smooth and
yeah,
shiny. And I like look at all that brush he's walking in. You're gonna have ticks. Like go look at bear and bison. You know what I mean?
yeah. It does appear that the coat is very like clear, kind of shiny, and that would go against what you would think Bigfoot would have. But in contrast, I have seen some what is it, bears with a shiny coat.
Right. And animals do bathe. Like that's like they
Yeah,
do get in the water. They do clean themselves. Like cats always licking themselves. I get it. So I'm not saying that those are like the definitive reasons of why not. But when I start to like look at everything thrown on the table, to me, time of year as well, because it's early fall, that's hunting season down there. That could easily be a hunter bow hunting too. Um,
I know, but I don't see a pack. I don't see like, that kind of like, I don't see anything that would make me think that
like a
he
gun or
has
something.
gear to bow hunt, to rifle hunt, you know.
I get that. I mean, maybe. And then like when you see it too, the way it sits down, it's like he sits down on the ground because he's like he sees the train moving. So he's like, oh, I'm a hide
Yeah.
almost too. So like that's interesting. I also question too, because of when this was coming out, the time of the year, and like because this is recent, is
Yeah.
who's to say, hey, AI, use a realistic Bigfoot and make it look like he's walking and sitting down in the distance in this Colorado scenery.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you always have to think AI is involved in it. I I'm gonna say it's not AI just because AI has a very kind of distinct look when you're like looking at AI. AI is almost like too good of quality.
Yes, yes, to I think the common AI user, but if this was an AI developer, you know what I mean? Like in that sense where it's more of a smart person creating that, because it's like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make this video, and it's gonna do, it takes a lot of thought, and who knows. I Because the other thing that is really interesting to me too is that video looks like the Bigfoot in that video looks very, very similar to the Bigfoot in the Patterson Gimlin film.
One would think if it's Bigfoot and Bigfoot, they would look similar though.
You're not
I mean, a
wrong.
bear looks like a bear. They look pretty similar.
You're not wrong.
Bison and a bison look pretty similar.
You're right. No,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Because it's just like, is it?
I think it opens up the great possibility of it actually confirming Bigfoot.
50-50.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, let us know. What do you think, the listeners of the Wandering Ways? Do you think that that's actually Bigfoot that was spotted in Colorado? Or do
Yeah.
you think or do you think of the one comment in there? I gotta laugh. Nah, that's my buddy Matt. He's a raft guy.
No, I'm serious, guys. I'm
Yeah.
serious. He said it
Yeah.
was him.
Yeah, yeah. Or there's another comment. It was just like some hunter in a ghillie suit. Ah, shit, they're gonna think I'm Bigfoot.
Right? Or, you know, what if it's a hunter in a Bigfoot suit? To
But
like,
that's his camo.
yeah, well, I mean, would it work?
If Bigfoot's real, it would work 100%. If Bigfoot's real, then it would work because
Bigfoot's
the
always
the
hiding.
creatures that you're hunting would be like, oh no, that's my boy Big. Like that's not a hunter.
Right. No, fair. Totally, totally fair.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if in
50-50.
theory, if he is actually real, that's low key a really great like camo
Evidence.
outfit.
Yeah,
Well,
like that.
camo outfit that if you're gonna go hunting, and we're
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world of assumptions that Bigfoot's real in this world, like that would be a fantastic like camo outfit to go because
Yeah.
now you don't have to be as sneaky and move because it's like you look like Bigfoot.
That's what I mean. That's like I should wear my Bigfoot when I'm going hunting, and the deer will just be like, "Ah, we're good."
Yeah, yeah, no, that
He's minding his own business.
yeah, yeah. Maybe
Wait, that
maybe
one's got
there's
a
a
gun.
smell difference. Maybe there is a smell difference, but I mean, looks,
Probably.
I think they would be like, oh, you no, this guy's chill. You start go
Probably.
up, you can just start petting them.
Right. Just, hey guys, how are you? Because it's like the magical Bigfoot, like the king of the forest, right?
I, it's so true. But one place, I don't know, maybe Bigfoot is in the gates of the Arctic National Park. I mean,
That's honestly a
that'd be a pretty
huge.
good spot to be.
That's yeah. I mean, if you were to rank it, I'd probably say
Oh,
there's a good shot.
yeah. Not that I've been there, but if we were doing our Wandering Ways reviews, I would probably give the chance of seeing Bigfoot 5 out of 5 for Gates of the Arctic.
Or would you now?
I do. It's a wilderness park.
Yeah, like no, this
10 to
like Mark, a
11,000, 10 to 11,000 visitors a year.
lot of
Uh,
trees.
no established trails, no roads. I mean, it's got the makings of that'd be a hotbed to see Bigfoot.
No, that's totally fair. So the first Alaskans can even hunt in this park, though. Speaking of hunting and that, I'm looking at it. That they're able to do some of their subsistence hunting and gathering here in the park as
I actually
well.
think anyone can hunt and fish in the park.
Well, I saw fishing.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let me try and
Oh
find
yeah,
where
Doll
I
sheep
saw that.
hunting. You could hunt
Yeah,
sheep there. That's kind of neat. Not because like can't do that in Yellowstone, can't do that in Glacier.
no. I
But
mean,
yeah,
I could see why this one has that though, like why you have that capability because
well,
it's
you have to in Alaska when you're out there. Like you're not going to go to the supermarket and buy food. You have to go hunt a moose and put it in the freezer, and
oh
they do, and they eat the eyeballs, they eat the guts, and like good for them, honestly. Good. I'm proud of you. I could
yeah.
never do that. I'm a
I
wimp.
think there's like I think there's sport hunting as
Yeah.
well as the subsistence. Because I mean there's for sure subsistence because there's like tribes that live in the park. There's Eskimo tribes that live in the park. And they do well, actually I that was one of the fun facts I was going to bring up for this one. It's like there are many Eskimo tribes in gates of the Arctic National Park, which depend on local wildlife for food. Most of these tribes make everything they own except their hunting rifles. Um, which, makes sense. You're out in the
Right.
middle of nowhere. You gotta live, you gotta work with what you got.
No, you're absolutely right. It sounds like in 1980 they passed Congress passed that protected the traditional subsistence rights of local rural residents through Alaska National Interest Land Conservation
19,
Act.
1980. That's about the same time this became a park, too.
Which makes sense because it probably was like, we need to protect this land. We know you're
Yeah.
hunting here. We're going to do this. And there's other things going on as well because I feel like it did that across a lot of parts of Alaska, maybe all of Alaska. And you see it in that first Alaskan show, as well as that's actually really on Disney Plus. That first Alaskans, the way they talk about like the first peoples and
Oh,
living out
yeah.
like there's like it's really neat because they have like you can tell like the one dude is like in a suburb of Fairbanks, or one of those kind of town or Anchorage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you may live 2 hours outside of town or an hour outside of town, but like these one guys are on like that St. Lawrence Island, which is like the one out by Russia. And then there's like the ones on like the Aleuts and like even like they have a good like mix of like the spread of it and like the Yukon, and it's neat. It's different. You learn about it and you think about, could I do that? I mean, I kind of am. I'm living in Wolf Point, but just kidding. Not
Yeah,
not
right.
subsistence, not subsistence.
Yeah, and a year from now, we're gonna be talking about Zach's subsistence hunting and fishing and all that, and he's gonna go way out there.
Right. I'm hunting deer, I got 4 freezers this year, guys. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
I would love to fish though up in Alaska. Like
Oh yeah,
the one of the guys I was talking to was telling me, he's like, I got this spot just about an hour away from here. And you go and every cast you're catching an Arctic grayling. I'm like, that's like the one fish I want to catch that I haven't caught. Yeah, it's like an
yeah.
Arctic grayling. Um and like the Arctic char. They got northerns too up there, the big ones.
I mean, if you're an outdoors person, like that, Alaska as a whole is a pretty good place to go.
Right.
If you like being outdoors, whether it's fishing, hunting, hiking, backcountry stuff, any of it, it's hard to find a place in Alaska that you wouldn't have a fun time.
Right. No, I that's why I like this trip. I was like, I really want to go to Fairbanks. I don't care if it's for like the day. I just need to like see it. I need to get my like grounding. You know what I mean? And it's like now I know what to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
That's
no.
that's I gotta get my grounding.
Like Iceland, like like we got our grounding of like the whole fucking country, and now I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if I go back, I'm spending a month here, 12 days there, like
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at videos of our videos of
yeah.
Iceland, and I'm like, God damn, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the like the Studical Canyon. I'm just like, bro, I could spend like if I could have the money and plan it, it's like I would want to spend a whole day there, sun up to sundown, especially like in like the fall or spring, like do something like
Yeah,
that. I but then it also like you get that feeling and that itch, and then you're like, oh, what about like going to like a Japan, like we've talked about, or a Patagonia, because you're just like you see these other places and they're just as like
yeah. I know. There's too many places to go. Too many places I want to go. That's where I would want to spend my money and effort.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, anyways, we are approaching the end of today, so that is our episode on the gates of the Arctic. Continuing on our ABCs, we've hit the G's. This is the first one of the G's. We're moving along in the series. So that's kind of exciting in and of its way. But anyways, it's time for our final words. So, final words, my guy.
I'm a G, the seventh letter of the alphabet. Gates of the Arctic, OG Park, OG Alaska. Definitely need to get up there again. Like not to Alaska, I mean, but like I need to get up to Gates of the Arctic. I would like to probably maybe if I could spend a year of my life like up there. Just to really explore and focused on exploring it for a year.
Yeah.
And if I have that as a goal or a thought or a plan, I just need to sit here and focus on how do I achieve that. So, guys, please subscribe to this podcast so I can achieve that. That is all.
Exactly. Subscribe to the podcast to help Zach accomplish his dreams. I'm all for it. Reverend's final words, wisdom. Stay beautiful, everybody. Can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for listening, liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff. It makes the podcast more fun. Hopefully we got a lot of fun stuff in store here in the future. So keep looking around, checking us out, all that cool stuff. But go out there, be amazing, stay beautiful, be an amazing person, be a beautiful person, just all that good stuff. With that being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.